Welcome back, everybody, here to ESL One Genting 2017, a European qualifier. It is grand final time, Virtus Pro against OG. In our full best of 5, that's right. Hopefully we go the whole distance as well. Let's see if VP can push it that far. OG be looking amazing. VP not looking too bad after their warm-up best of 3 today against Adfinum. Nox, are you still going to stick with your prediction that we were talking about before, or would you like to change?
I mean, you have to. Your money has to be on OG, even though VP looked really good. OG are a team that got a direct invite to the Boston Major. They've looked really solid at MDL. They came third. I think that we just have to. We have to stick with OG definitely, whether or not the score margin is 3-2, 3-1, 3-0. I think that's what VP are going to try to prove.
I'm interested to see exactly what VP get in the draft, because I kind of feel for me like every game kind of is going to depend on that. OG have this very aggressive, rotating, and unusual way of running their drafts. Like the fact that they are consistently picking up this Pudge and Clockwork combo with the Oracle backup. The fact that they even ran the Jirax Earth Spirit again. These guys are doing what very few teams in Europe are doing, playing a completely unknown hero pool or a completely ignored hero pool.
Yeah, I hope to see some top quality hooking happening here, but for now it just seems pretty stock standard opening here for OG. Draw Ranger Batrider versus the Shadow Demon Luna. These are two like canonical pairs of heroes this patch, and I mean, what is interesting about the OG versus Virtus Pro opening is, like we were saying yesterday in the draft, is that we mostly see openings of 1 support, 1 core, whereas for OG here they've gone for 2 cores, albeit one of them as the offlaner. So a little bit less flexibility for how OG are going to do this. Like Virtus Pro could go aggro tri-lane, unlikely from OG. Draw Ranger, not necessarily the best hero in an aggro tri-lane situation.
She can do a lot of work as long as the other 2 support she's with are very, very good laners. But yeah, I don't think OG are too concerned. Like, their support pool is pretty well open, so VP can't even really ban against that. The only thing they could be looking at is trying to shut down the mid. Like, they could try and restrict Anna's movement. One of the big things I think they need to be looking at is the Mirana. That is one of those heroes which is good for dealing with heavy amounts of illusions, and also a hero Anna's had a lot of success on lately. That would be the only other thing I think VP would be looking at. Everything else is pretty much an open field.
Yeah, one must also feel a little bit for Virtus Pro here. They did play their semi-final today. Haven't had a very long rest, 10-15 minute rest between that game and the finals. And also in terms of OG, they had great preparation for Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro have played a lot of games this patch, and in the last month specifically, OG have played very, very few games, and some of them were captain's draft. So yeah, I think that OG are, from an information perspective, have a big advantage. And as the series goes on, Fly is known as one of those drafters that actually just gets better and better. He's the red wine of drafting. As the series goes on, the quality and the technicality of how he plays and how he drafts just improves.
That is... I love that comparison, Nox. A good red wine. You have a little bit of a bite to it the first time you see it, and then all of a sudden it just starts to brew beautifully.
Yeah, but I mean, he's gone for something stock standard in the opening, as you would expect in a best-of-5 series. It's also a question of the ability to keep going. It's a marathon. But OG want to keep this short and simple. They're going for Draw Ranger. Draw Ranger strats.
I'm really surprised they try and ban out the supports. Like, they ban out Nurse Spirit. Like, okay, I know I also got quoted last night heavily saying this is why you respect the Jirax Earth Spirit, because it definitely had a huge influence on the game. But at the same time, like... Okay, OG ban out the Mirana, so OG does VP's work for him. Like,
I mean, for me it seems that OG would like to see maybe an Invoker mid, another ranged core. Wow, okay. Enchantress. They've picked this one so far this month, OG, so...
Was that Captain's Draft though? Because if any information that comes from Captain's Draft, I basically want to ignore.
It was captain's draft, but it was, yeah, I wouldn't ignore it. I would just take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like the Venomancer pick that they picked alongside it, I would consider as definitely just because of captain's draft. But the Enchantress puts a lot of early pressure, and able to steal Luna's dominated creep is also very, very annoying for Luna.
I'm assuming it's Fly that played the Enchantress.
I didn't actually watch the game.
Okay.
But I would definitely assume that it would be Jirax playing it, because he plays as more of, like a farming 4. Fly in that game would have played the Venomancer. Yeah, he did. I loaded the game.
Okay.
Fly played the Venomancer.
Interesting. Very interesting. I know.
Yeah,
I always see Jirax as like this more of a single hero, not a big micro player pushing around the map. Yeah. Okay. Still fantastic with the Dro and the Enchantress. That's some really early pressure to add to the towers before Luna's probably ready to defend it. They might want to have a little bit more control, however.
So we've got an S4 hero in the Batrider, most likely. Like Yana plays more of a scaling mid. Star Ranger for No Tail. And we got something for Jirax. So we need a Fly hero. And we need something for Anna.
Witch Doctor and DK, I think, are the last ones that OG will probably be looking at.
Yeah, it's really difficult to actually predict what they're going to do because they haven't played very much. Like the most played hero this patch. Oh, nice call. Most played hero this patch for OG is Tide, Dragon Knight, Pudge, and Clockwork.
But if you also look at their combinations every time they pick up a Dro, like what's the percentage of how many times they run it with the DK?
It's great for sieging and Enchantress, and with like a draft like this, you can see that OG want to take all the outer towers by about the 30-minute mark and then go high ground. And wow, versus Pro, the Doombringer.
I'm worried it's a little greedy. VP are going to take a while to come on. They need some better counter push.
I mean, Doom's pretty good for the sustain. They got good initiation or counter initiation with the Centaur, and Shadow Demon Centaur is a really good combo. You can actually aggro dual lane with that. Lets you set up very nicely, and it always means that you have to keep some support ready and willing and able to save the Draw Ranger. If you think about it, the Enchantress is going to be in the jungle, so maybe we see some shenanigans like a dual lane, off lane, or maybe even a tri lane. I don't think that's likely, but could see something crazy happening here.
I'd love to see what's going to happen. For me, I'm still thinking OG are going to just try and lock in. Like, you've still got Invoker for the mid. Not for the mid. Still got so many support heroes which are able to sort of counter the SD. Invoker in my brain was actually in the hands of Virtus Pro.
Yeah, so what are they going to pick to go up mid against the Dragon Knights? Virtus hero, no one heroes. Death Prophets? Can't really harass that much.
Her D push isn't that bad, as long as the frontliners can stand there, it's okay. Yeah, she's not gonna like completely win the lane against the against the DK.
Yeah, the Dazzle ban is for that exact reason, that Dazzle plus Draw Ranger. Dazzle's like a strong laning defensive support to have alongside the Drow.
Also screws with the Doombringer, because he can't just delete the hero straight away.
Yeah, but I mean the ticks that carry on from Doom, and also his Scorched Earth does keep the ticks going, so you have to be cognizant of that as the Doom's about to end. Get the heal off as well. I don't know if this... You can't pick Sniper in this situation against such good initiation with the Batrider. I don't think.
We also don't have a distance closer on VP.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that... I don't want to... Like, the only jump hero which I've seen VP play a lot more is like the Templar Assassin. Like, that's the one they could close the distance on the Drow Ranger, but he's not real. She's not really that great against the OG lineup. So he needs something else. And you can't turn this into a split push thing. Okay, there's a jump hero that can close the distance, and it's a lot better. It's a lot better against this lineup. But you're heavily lacking physical damage out from Virtus Pro until the Luna comes online.
10 seconds
remaining.
At least I got like multiple elements of D push, but I got a funny feeling this game's gonna be over by 20 minutes. And we'll probably know it's over by 10.
I don't know about that. I mean, there are ways that they can get Virtus Pro, like even if they fall behind early on and OG take a lot of towers, like they have good defense. And
Yeah.
that is interesting. Fly Oracle was a staple even before he joined OG when he was still playing in North America. Something he played quite a lot of.
The hero they've been using in synergy with more the Pudge and the Clockwork in their previous drafts.
Yeah,
And
Solo also on a signature Shadow Demon. What's funny is that both, like, although Doom is pretty much out the meta, Virtus Pro played both Solo and Lil on the hero, so they have that versatility. Although in this case, it was, I think, pretty obvious that Solo was going to play the Shadow Demon. And yeah, OG heroes picking up the respective heroes that we would think they would be playing. There's no shenanigans there.
yeah, everything looks pretty standard. I'm interested to see too, like the timing of Lil and where Enchantress rotates, because like Lil does have that option of just like removing at least one of the army of Enchantress out.
And S4 on his signature Batrider, what we saw yesterday, he didn't have a great game in terms of pushes, but he did drag the supports of his opposition always to keep like zoning him out and controlling him, and I think that's just it's one of the reasons that it's so hard to evaluate offlaners, is their impact in the game isn't quantifiable by like kills or assists or death necessarily. Sometimes they are. Sometimes you're general and you get an offlane triple kill early on, but more often than not, it's very difficult.
You ever seen a Batrider in a squatting position?
But he is more of a legs guy.
Yeah, he looks like a Tasmanian devil at that point. Not a bat.
It must be really hard work to like stay on the mount at all times on the bat.
He definitely didn't skip leg day. Leg day is every day for Batrider.
Yeah, he's got the gas mask on as well, so he's ready to go through this.
Is it just because he's so old he needs an oxygen tank? Because look at the thing on his ass as well.
Well, he's flying at high altitude, you know.
It's a fire starter fuel canister.
It's deceptive, you know. We're looking at this. The game of Dota 2 keeps him a lot closer to the ground than he otherwise would be. High altitude training.
Alright, mass TP times. It's going to be OG, who's smoke and move out quickly.
Yeah, OG were one of the teams that, like, when this first became a thing, starting like TPing early on to get wards down and to counteract smoke.
They always love this ward too. How many times have we seen Jirax like so quickly out, plant down that ward, and then look at the aggressive ward planted by No Tail. Like they both smoked and moved so quickly that they can watch around the secret shop, they can watch around the ancients. They're practically watching all the primary stack and farm areas.
Yeah, remember that when you smoked up, the extra move speed. So if you're an Enchantress, you run at 385. If you TP mid and run there, there's like no like. The only way for VP to deal with it is to TP someone to their tier 2, which is so obscure.
Did he just ping that perfectly? Fly is so totally dead. 5 heroes all around him. They're gonna disrupt up quickly, and then they just look for a proper surround. So Oracle will be the first blood, and Virtus Pro will leave. I was wondering if it was actually Fly who pinged this little ward out, the sentry ward out, but I think it was actually a lighter color. I think it was no one who pinged that.
It shall be duly noted, as Pike said there. And yeah, it's a good start for your mid laner to get that. Able to ferry out his healing self and the circlet before the creep wave even spawns.
So DK and Luna. Luna actually takes the rune because of first blood.
And Lil looking to snag a courier or something. He's going to get scouted out maybe by Jurex, JK.
Oh, into the trees. No observer ward on the hillside. He throws down the sentry, which will be good to de-ward the camp, but he'll have to run all the way around in through the other side in order to find that sentry. And now he realizes it's blocked.
Yeah, he's gonna have to tango. Two tango.
Lil?
Doom just comes and says, "How's your father doing?"
Lil's gonna be a pain in the butt as long as he possibly can. S4 is cornered. It looks like he got disrupted and then pincered.
Yeah, he's one of the heroes that can just get out of that with Firefly.
No, but S4 isn't skilled up anything. He's holding the point. He
Yeah,
understands
here's
his
the
skills.
Doom trying to go for the courier, but the courier just sidestepped him.
I think he understands, like, if he skills that point up too early, goes for sticky napalm for the harass, kind of what he wants, but while he still needs Firefly, gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, and in the mid lane, Puck versus DK. Seems like a lane where I wouldn't expect the Puck to be able to kill unless he manages to get like a good illusionary orb off, and the DK doesn't respect that. Probably more towards the later stages because DK's always got the resets, stun and run away.
VP running the roaming Doom. This doesn't really work unless you actually have Infernal Blade. In a way, it's going to zone out the DK a bit.
Nice in that you can just devour and run away. You don't have to like constantly be like, you're not losing out farm wise that much. And no one. Yeah. So there shouldn't be a kill in the mid lane without rotations, at least until later on. And yeah, the DK wants to just farm and get its level 6.
Notel's still gonna have the time of his life on this bottom lane. It's kind of silly with the way the lane works. That Notel, even once he gets level 6, probably can't get the kill straight away like he can against most strength melee off laners. He's gonna require like 2 strikes at the centaur and the centaur to come in when he's at either 3/4 or half life. Then the Drow has an opportunity.
Yeah, the thing is also that Notel is the type of person that assesses those type of macro decisions very well. So we might see him rotate to another lane, maybe even top lane when he hits level 7 to make a play if that's what it calls for.
Anna's got a little of assistance. Jirax is being a douche. To say it really, really nicely, he's being a douche. Same time, Lil also has the same ability. He just burnt off the last remaining mana of S4. He was taking an entire creep wave with him.
Yeah, S4's happy with this. He's gonna get some good levels out here. Level 3 already. The Centaur, not as fortunate.
I'm assuming Jirax has sat a banisher timed out in the mid. Not that it got killed.
Yeah, and also the Centaur's gone 1-1-1, and he's gonna just be hitting the jungle up, I would expect, if bot lane doesn't carry on going well.
This is even better for OG. Mainly because it means Fly's going to get some levels. He could do pulling uncontested. Doesn't have to harass the lane out at all. So because of this, he doesn't need to go near Notel. He can let him get the early levels up, and that means VP, that timing attack, which Anna's going to be capable of doing, is going to be a lot earlier too. Because the second he goes into that dragon form, you look for the bonuses, things just go their way. Sol's going to contest for the top rune. Disrupts to start with. It was actually a defensive disruption, an aggressive one over on Anna, trying to keep him off the rune, but now Lil is in too far with a rotation from Jirax. Lil's making a break for the Ancients, who will not be able to reach it in time. OG managed to give themselves a kill. The VP commit a fair amount of heroes to that. Push again. Okay, you know that situation I talked about with Pasha being low? Pasha is low when coming to this bottom lane. Dro's not level 6 yet, so he's probably not going to be as concerned. Because it means Pasha's at least not going to die when this push happens.
Yeah. But he really wants to have those tranquil boots. It means he can take a bit of damage, reset. Take a bit of damage, reset. He wants to try to pull the creep wave off here. Lil's in the hood.
Yep. Just going to show up as a level 2 Doombringer. Notel, I think, is going to make sure he doesn't take the aggro here.
Yeah. One thing that also to note is that last game we saw...
Oh, Enchantress rotating in from the side. Early point up in Gust from Notel means he tried to slow down or at least cancel the Scorched Earth trigger. Didn't happen, so the Doom drops down. The Batrider was lost on the top lane at the same time.
I think it was to solo Luna, just with the Eclipse. But yeah, I was just going to say the early level in Gust means that we don't see level 3 Frost Arrows at level 5, and we won't be seeing level 4 at level 7, so slight deviation from the skill build that we saw in Draw Ranger in the previous game.
I'm okay with this though, because it might just be the meaning between like...
Some action mid.
Yeah, Anna's just holding himself. No one's not going to find this kill, even with the orb. Oh, okay, he's going to riv. Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's a blunder. Anna used herself, but one little creep just ruined it for him.
He just bought a new one as well, and he's bringing the bottle out. It's a bit of a problem, but he also just got the injection of money from the tier 1 tower and the bot lane dropping. And you know what's going to happen next. The OG does this like clockwork. Notel, once he hits his level 6, which surprisingly he still doesn't have, like they brought down that tier 1 tower without requiring level 6, Notel will move. So it's either a rotation strap towards the top, which is more than likely, and they let Ana do his work on the mid, or they rotate down to the over to the mid lane and just focus that one. But they normally only do that when Ana's had a bit of a rough start.
It's actually really weird. S4 hasn't taken a single point in Flame Break, whereas he's like a big fan of that spell.
He's holding the point.
Yeah.
But maybe he also enjoyed it back when it had a stun.
Yeah, that's true, but it does a lot more damage now, and often he was using it to do that. Yeah, it's some initiation stuff.
Yeah, they found S4. There's no TP support coming in. He's going to try and Firefly himself out of here. Shadow Poison looking, now the TP support's on their way. S4 coming over solo, trying to get him to turn around while the Firefly burns away. Hotel, too low on life, needs some distance. Able to get it. Draw from Ana, and also a haste rune on Ana. Breathe fires down solo. Top tier 1 tower was still lost. The rotations work for him, and now you know what's going to happen. Notel's actually not that healthy. I think Ramsey thinks he can go in and snipe it. Is that a healing? Yeah, it's a salve. It's a salve coming on the courier. So Notel's got to heal up nice and quick. Courier should have scouted out Ramsey's. Yeah, he loses some beams. He actually cancels the salve. Durax doesn't have any sprites, he can't give an extra heal. Ramsey goes into the tree line, gets silenced up. Now the puck orb comes in, they give an extra salvo, but that one gets cancelled as well. That's like a salve gone in a short space of time. They use the Hadouken out of the chest of the Doombringer to find that kill, and then they keep moving forward. Virtus Pro chasing down OG. Durax trying to just scuttle his way through the tree lines. Already spent his money, may want to spend a little bit more than what he spent, however. Again, the Hadouken, but this time off target, and Lil's out of mana. So this chase ends now.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. That they also a really good play by Ramses. He gets the tower. He does like the massivest rope that you've ever seen, all the way through the jungle, past the river, and it pays off for him. He's sitting at 202, sitting good in the terms of net worth at number 1. Okay, Pac just takes over him now. But yeah, it's looking good. I think that OG just need to stick to their plan, mustn't panic. They wanted to take more towers, they've got the heroes to do so. Oracle's got a 6 and a little bit of farm from the space that was created.
And that's something to keep in mind too, right? Like, Fly didn't even come up for the fight.
Yeah, it's something that OG like very, very commonly do. Notel makes his, if Notel wants to make his rotation, Fly stays and gets a little bit of free time. A little bit of personal me time.
Radiant was scanning to the north, just worried if VP would come out of the jungle to attack. They'd take the tier 1 tower with no real issue.
Yeah, I think OG needed to just focus the puck down in the next couple of minutes. He's had a great start. I mean, mid was kind of a wash between the two, but then the supports came in and Pax made some good rotations, you know, being involved in 2 kills. Anna's also been involved in 3, but also died once, so that's, you know, a relative loss. And we just need to see that blink dagger.
Yeah, he should just go straight for the blink, right? Because I'm wondering.
Maybe we'll see Veil. Could be Veil.
Yeah, Veil was the other thing in my mind. Because right now VP still needs to have some level of amplification for damage. Luna's had a good start, no doubt.
He's gone double null, so he will go Veil. It seems. Some action in the bot lane, Lil, getting rainbowed up.
Stampede to get him into the tree line, starts the TP. S4, where's that stun? Centaur.
Oh my god.
That looked so close.
Yeah.
On the max range of the Centaur stomp. Lil gets away. He'll live to fight another day.
Yeah, he's the type of player that I would expect such comical greatness to occur from.
If only Doom really had a taunt he could do while he TP'd, that would have been more appropriate. The Veil is up for no one. So it was his item choice, but he's also sitting at another 900 gold after finishing up the Veil.
Yeah, that was what was very weird. He was on like 1750 gold, and he only needed like 1200 or 1300 at that stage to finish it off. So I was just a bit surprised if he was going to go that he should have just got it. It looked like he was heading to try to get the dagger and then could have come back for Veil. Veil obviously made much smaller components easier to pick up.
Could have just been that decision for the team. It's like, okay, guys, what do we actually need? How are we looking? Luna, you've got the best net worth in the field at the moment, but the physical damage is still not scary enough to ensure that OG will back away from a fight. And right now it's just trade time.
I don't know if it's necessarily trade time. I think that OG are going to do a good enough job to defend middle. I can't push as fast, and Dry Ranger does a huge amount of damage. Anna in the top lane could always pop Dragon Form, and he's got a Invis Rune. He could try and make a little play here.
That's what he's able to find. Right now there's no deep vision. Fly's going over to try and take care of that. There's no one. Moves to the top lane. It's like Fly had his heart set on putting a ward that's on that hill to the southeast of the tier 2.
Anna could rope here and get the stun off. They just need a pressure off the tower, and we could see a stun come out.
They're
Still a hard kill
all
for his
coming
team
up.
to make.
Dragon Form. No one. Gonna orb, jump up. One charges up, but S4's gonna find him. He needs lasso. He can't cancel it. He didn't go for a point, and Flamebringer's not for the stun. So Puck can escape. They should still be able to take out the tier 2 tower. But it's a tier 2 for a tier 1 tower as opposed to a tier 2 plus a Puck kill.
It's really strange. Why does S4 not have a point in lasso?
Very good question.
He's holding the skill point. He's only +1 on all attributes.
It's a very good question.
Or
I don't know what's really more powerful.
It would be considered a base stat. No, he's actually taken 1 point in stats.
He did?
Yeah, because he's Iron Branch is 1, and he's got +3 damage. Oh no, it's from... Yeah. And it's armor. I'm retarded. It's been a long day.
It's okay, Nox. It's okay.
I don't know why I said that.
Fine, we move on. He's got the point up in the lasso now. They got their openings on that front, no tell. Gonna go for the casual morbid mask and then build into the Shadow Blade. Nice thing to have if you complete up the Silver's Edge, make real issues for the Centaur. Also notice 2 Centaurs build. He's only left the 1 point up in return. Everything else is Hoof Stomp and Double Edge. He's looking to jump in, get quick kills, and get the hell out. OG's going to push the issue. You got Lil forcing in the bottom lane as well. He's got a little skeleton army fighting for him. Now the Stampede. Big hit with the Double Edge. No tell. Evaporated. False Promise kept Anna alive a little bit longer. Fly's trying to heal him up. I think Anna's just taken way too much damage to survive. Fly will go down too. And Virtus Pro have the sweet, sweet initiation. The Centaur, what a reveal of the Blink Dagger.
That was pretty devastating, and now we can see daylight between the core's net worth. Luna is getting exactly what Luna wants, something that Dara would have liked to see when he was playing Luna. You know, just get that advantage, that early advantage, and just accelerate out of control.
This is the dream right now for Virtus Pro. Base for your cause, your initiator the first time he does anything, gets a huge hit in. The Puck already having his initiation plus the amplification, which works with the Centaur. And Solo may even have a respectable net worth this game. And you've still got Lil, who's pumping in just a decent amount of money from Devour, but he could bring in the Aura and eventually the Crimson Guard.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing like a kind of Puppy role. Puppy always used to do this. The Crimson Guard, and in his case, always the late Buckler, 100% uptime. But yeah, what's nice about the VP draft, like we said, they can do lots of things in just pairs and dual trips of heroes. The Shadow Demon Centaur can always catch people out. The Luna just wants to farm. He wants to do his own thing in the jungle. And the Doombringer, you know, it's Lil. Funny things will happen around him.
You make him sound like a comedian.
But he is. He's amazing. He's a genuinely funny, hilarious guy. A real jokester.
No tells very concerned on the top. Oh, S4.
S4.
Blink. There's your the hold over on the silencer with the charge in. They're gonna get over to the Bat Rider. Sorry, I bring him down. No way for a Bat Rider to escape from that one. At least the Drow Ranger was able to get out. They're looking over towards Pasha. Durank's gonna try and slow him down with the enchant. Impetus damage is there. The problem is they need a stun and no one is in range. The issue of not having a highly maneuverable Ana. In fact, it looks like Ana, like with this Hood of Defiance, I don't know if Pipe is exactly the early build they were looking for, but it's definitely going to help him to survive the initiation of VP. The Dragon Knight also become a little bit tankier for a while in the early stages.
Yeah, it is definitely an unusual item decision.
You would think like Shadowblade or Blink Dagger, right?
Yeah, I think that would be more expected. Shadowblade, I think, is definitely the preferred item. Blink Dagger is a little bit iffy in this situation because there's lots of ways that damage can be kept on you, like Shadow Demon with just one Shadow Poison, or Luna, like one Glaive is definitely going to hit you at some stage. Paka's got a lot of AoE as well.
Well, at least you're going to go into the Armlet next, so... What are the Defiance plus Armlet build, unless that's going to be a Dominator from the Dragon Knight?
I think Armlet
makes more sense. Like, he's got to be ready to fight with a little, like, injection of power, and the Armlet gives you that early on.
Yeah, I remember he's also on a team with Drow, so he gets 39 damage when he's in range from the Precision Ore at the moment. That is certainly good enough. Doesn't necessarily need to have damage, but like we said earlier, OG want to take all the towers out by like the 30-minute mark, and they've made a substantial chunk. 4 of them down, 2 to go.
VP push.
Yeah, VP push very, very well themselves, and...
Notel doesn't have a TP scroll. He can't come back. He's only just bought one. So Notel has to start the long run as VP have already entered the base.
Yeah, OG are role-playing as Cloud9 or something here, but look at the Lunid Glaives doing so much damage.
Yeah, Jirak's trying to get in there and steal one of them, but already Oracle. Man, that damage output is unbelievable. They get the Doom on the DK, so he doesn't have the Dragon form anyway. He'll be denied up by the Enchantress in the middle of the battle, but then even other things going wrong. You lasso a melee creep, not the Doombringer, which S4 was looking for. Virtus Pro in such a commanding position, and where do they, like, there's still a tier 2 town for them to kill off, so they're gonna back out.
Yeah.
They've already got
see
more
all
than
this
enough.
Lunar army just out of control.
Oh.
Not what you'd expect to have as when you're running a Drow strat.
Virtus Pro, they have... Again, like, this kind of feels like the same situation as before, where you're like, you know what, I think AF can probably outplay Virtus Pro, but Virtus Pro's draft is just so stable and solid, and the early game has had such a great start, that I don't know if OG is able to regain control of this game. And the control comes from what? Like, either push or single target initiation.
And look at the Enchantress going for like a pretty greedy Midas now into the Dragon Lance. Like, it's what you'd expect if you're doing really well, but is it the right play when you're on the back foot?
I think it is. Like, if you're defending from inside, if you can successfully repel VP a couple of times and you're able to get both the Ags and the Dragon Lance, she's going to start doing a lot more work for a team, and they need her damage to kick in. Without it, I don't think they're able to get through the very tanky, like, even the Doombringer is going to become a real issue. But they need to get rid of the Centaur. They need quick ways to kill off the puck if they do get a gust. And that's where the Enchantress can kick in. Almost the same build as, was that you and I who were casting it? I don't know if it was the yesterday game or the game before. But the Mask of Madness that even came onto the Enchantress.
No, I didn't cast it.
Okay, must have been I was casting it with Nahaz. Oh, Blink Lasso. This is it. They get the first little opening, but the ST disruptions out. The Gust didn't hit them. And now you turn the Crimson Guard with the Eclipse. And that may just be it for OG. They've lost so many players. They're not going to get the Drow Ranger out of here. A double kill for Ramses. He's so low in life to breathe fire. Okay, he does. He ticks out. He gets almost 1,000 gold from that. And he has to armlet toggle his ass out of it, but it's not going to happen. 10 Tall will finish the job. OG lose 4. Roshan, a little bit more difficult to kill without the Luna.
Yeah, I think if the Luna didn't die there, it would be close to OG saying, well, that's not good. Can we win this still?
That's a heavy question. They need something magical to happen right now for him. I don't know what. Like, anyway, you got Jirex is going to get his point booster now.
But Jirex kind of just tickled them in that fight. Crimson Guard was just like when Crimson Guard went on, there's that like big red aura around you. I saw Jirex like hit someone 3 times with Impetus on, and didn't really do very much at all. Remember also that the Doombringer's close to getting Vlad's. Makes these like close team fights become a lot more one-sided. Luna Aura, and they've got the Centaur initiation. Centaur's about to pick up 4 stuff, and he's got a hood as well. There's no way they bring him down with magic.
OG's looking for a fight. That's the Radiant scan. That's a little bit too close. Leaving that behind, they could slip in and try and grab Roshan. Bottom creep wave is out far enough, but you're seeing mass pings going around Roche. OG will have to be so quick about this. They're gonna start it up. They put an observer on the hill. Doombringer's walking in. The smoke will break. He realizes they're inside the pit. The Guts pushing back the Doombringer. But now Dro Ranger, even Roshan, lending the extra stun and the clap. Anna loses his life so quickly. Dro Ranger wants to get out here. It won't happen. Lasso also not going to work very well here for S4. He actually gets solo up on the cliff.
Jirex running for the hills.
Where's that blink? It's still on cooldown for now. Is that one attack? No, S4 blinks away. Jaunt down. Rift on cooldown. Falls away. And so is Jirax.
Yeah, Jirax just got out of there.
Oh, that was messy to say the least.
Yeah, and here comes the rush for Virtus Pro. And Scotty going to be done very, very soon for the Luna as well. So what do we see here? Quilla get dropped off on the courier? Or are they going to do something weird and give the Aegis to not Ramses? No, he's got it.
It's going to Ramses. He dropped his TP scroll.
I thought he'd want to keep that and maybe drop the Aquila because they've really got like enough aura stuff going.
Unless you're just going for the death push anyway, straight down mid. Not expecting OG to have any kind of split push. Look at their lineup, they can't split push.
I would expect him to just finish farming here, and then he's got Aegis, as well as the Skadi finished. Courier, ching, yeah, drive by. Take away 1 Skadi, please.
It's a cheap price. Oh, Notal. Solo drops the sentry just as Notal walks past him under the cover of Shadowblade. You'll also see Notal not switching up his build. Like the Shadowblade into Aghanims isn't that unusual, but he definitely knows he needs to be able to clean up the illusions of the SD Luna. And the Dro has been consistently going for an Aghanims to try and deal with that. But probably want to have the Silver Edge before this point. The VP, like, you look at the top 4 net worths, everything's coming up red.
It's just poor solo, as you'd expect. He is the true PPD of this team.
Just trying to creep skip this at the moment. To be able to finish the job, Blink Lasso, dragging Luna back to the tier 4 towers, the follow-up stun is there. Remember, she's still got the Aegis Immortal as well as SD. The disruption happens, so even more Ramsey turns on the Eclipse, and everyone is going to bleed under the moonlight. Ramsey's maybe not so much of a bleed. Bought back on the Batrider. Dro Ranger still has her own buyback, and Luna stunned up for the moment. That Impetus damage from Jirax now starting to do a little bit more work. Dro does buy back, wants the Aura, but Pasha jumps in. A great hit, but will it be enough damage, especially when no one's in there? The answer is a yes. Hotel not dead yet, however. Still fighting with that buyback. No one Yulsip is up. He's got his face shoots available, and he won't be able to get it off in time. Jirax is there waiting. Big defense.
Just the positioning of the fight was so awkward for Virtus Pro. Right by the tower. Tower constantly getting hits off. The tier 4s even, I think, might have got a cheeky couple of throws in there. But it wasn't, it wasn't without some buybacks from OG. It was the Draw Ranger.
But they didn't lose money. If you looked at the team fight recap, OG actually still made about 2,500 over VP in that fight.
Definitely, but if they come back down mid now, you know, no one bought back on Virtus Pro. If Virtus Pro come mid and they manage to kill the Draw Ranger and the Bat Rider, they are gone for 6 minutes.
Very true.
And Virtus Pro don't have like any long cooldowns that they're gonna have to wait for. Everything's ready to go for them.
Unless Notel can get a small little opening. Beats into solo up a little bit. He's got his Shadow Blade up cooldown in 1 second time. Yeah, you can see Notel. He wants to go for it. He wants the kill if he can catch him. But Solo's already retreating out, and there's now, here you go, mass TP's coming in from Virtus Pro. Lasso, that ain't a real one. 70 seconds on cooldown. It was a fake Doombringer, an illusion. And OG just hoped they found an opening. Now Anna's in trouble. He'll take the stun. He wants to keep running. Dragon Form is available, but silenced up. S4 has to four-star him down with the false promise. Oh, disruption cancels the TP out. Anna will have to stand his ground and then die. He has no other choice. No buyback available for the DK. 50 seconds on the sideline. Again, Notel's going to try and creep skip this out. But what does it really stop? VP at this point, all they need is a quick initiation, and they're looking for one over on the Bat Rider. Crimson Guard gets triggered, more looters get created, and now the Glaives, they just cause so much damage. The Doom on the Enchantress, she has to get back into her base, into the home. Fly in the meantime, dying to just the poison. They turn on the Eclipse, they get the kill on the Drow. And now is there really that much left in the tank here? VP may back out again because the tier 2 towers stopping them from taking another lane of frags until no one jumps in. They purge on the DK. There's not a lot of mana left here on no one, but they're going to send a whole bunch of Ramses over. And that's enough to keep OG inside their base, and they prep just to go again in through the top lane.
Too top, as you say, is anything keeping them in the game here. Otherwise, OG would be Danzos. Lunar Glaives, so much damage. You can see what was quite hilarious. Fly got off a good false promise on Anna there, but Anna was a goner, and they hit him, and at some point they all stopped and ran mid. And in the background, popped off.
Well, he was a sure thing. No need to wine and dine him. S4. This is a real one. He's got no help. He's got no help at all. He's only here to Firefly the creep wave and slow down the push. But VP are very well aware of everything OG is doing. You see the 3 observer wards they've committed inside the Radiant base. If OG leave, VP know about it. Unless Durex wants to smoke inside of his fountain. Damn, okay, so BKB and the Solar Crest. Solar just bought a straight Solar Crest. Even Lil can afford a point booster. Is he actually thinking about bringing back the Ags Doom?
It does look like it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If he gets there, it's a guaranteed deletion of a hero. S4 still can't find anybody.
Yeah, you don't need a taunt on Doom if you can just run next to them while they're burning.
S4 doesn't want it.
It's more like Ramses found them. Like, they can't go in on Ramses, he's so tanky. Nearly 3k HP and he's got a BKB.
Notel needs a little bit more time. He's 600 gold away from having his Aghanim Scepter.
They know where Anna is, they know where he is. I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time though.
TP out.
Nope. They're going to scan.
It'd be so much easier for Notel if he wasn't hitting like 1 strong and 2 worth less creeps.
Radiant's middle tower.
Are they bringing a gem down the lane? Yeah, they got a gem over on Solo. So they are going to see the observed ward sitting in the middle of the hill. Notel starting his TP back now. He still does not have his Aghanim Scepter and he sells. Hang on, what did he just sell? I missed it.
I didn't see either.
I can check in a second, but yeah, he sold so he could buy up the Aghanim Scepter. And this just
Maybe just
no
might
tail,
have just been a
no
killer.
tail, no tail. You died to all the glaives. They want to initiate in. He's so low. The dream can't get hit by the orb. No buyback. That's the game. That's the game. They've lost their draw. There's no way in all high hell Anna can do enough work to get them back into this game. Ramses is just too big, and OG found no opening. Game 1 of this best of 5 goes to VP.
Yeah, if it is one of the, like, although people, everyone, us included, thought that this would be an OG series win, I think that it makes sense that Virtus Pro wins